Good morning. I'm in Taiwan thinking about immigration. You want to see the street below me? This is just for fun. There's the street below me. There's a McDonald's. Okay, so there I am, and that was fun. I'm thinking about immigration laws in America, and I actually worked as an employee in Taiwan for a number of different employers. So I've got some ideas about immigration that I don't hear people talking about in America's discussion about laws. So here's some ideas I've got about this. I'm going to do like a Taiwan special where I lived in Taiwan for 10 years and I have something to say about this. But I'm going to do it in this 5-minute video. I think that Congress should pass a law about Mexicans specifically and give them a great opportunity because they're our neighbors and we love our neighbors. And we're going to be good neighbors by being good to our neighbors. And I think that if Congress passed this law, they didn't attach it to anything else, or there was no, well, you got to give us this or else. Don't do any of that. Just all by itself, pass this law, and then I think all the other negotiations with the other issues in Congress would go so much better. Because we solved this problem. We did what's good. So there are no more excuses. There's no more excuse to reject other good laws if we pass this all by itself. I think it's politically smart. The law would be for only Mexicans because they're our neighbors. I think that high school students in America should work on farms. I think it's character building. I've worked on farms. But there's this thing with hiring Mexicans to work on farms. Okay, it's a thing. So, have Mexicans register with their own government, not America's government where it's a different culture. Work it out so that it's a U.S. law agreed to with Mexico, and Mexico's government's the people that they deal with. Maybe the DMV's office, wherever you go to get your driver's license in Mexico. Mexicans would register probably a criminal background check. Congress would hash out the details. Maybe register a bank account or have an easy way to get a bank account. The Farm Bureau and the Farmers Association would set the prices probably by county and township, maybe even per farm. It's up to them. And then the Mexican, before he even comes to America, would have an ID card. He could cross the border with it. He could be allowed to stay, he or she can stay for maybe a limited amount of time, whatever Congress decides, and they could work wherever they want. Maybe they can do a contract. If I'm going to come here, I got to come here every day, but maybe it'd be a standard contract. When they quit, they drop a postcard in the mail or they call a number. The Mexican worker would quit by contacting the U.S. government. So there's no argument with the boss. As a foreign worker, this is a big issue. I had lots of problems dealing with the employer in Taiwan, different ones, because of cultural differences. And if I could just quit my job by contacting Taiwan's government, it makes so many things go so much more smoothly because of cultural differences and expectations. And there's another problem with this. Before I say the problem, taxes should be deducted. This is money to be leaving the country. So America's government, the farmer should pay the American government. The American government would take out 10% and that's it. It's simple. And then the Mexican can keep the rest of his money. It's non-refundable. There's no deductions. Maybe 15%, I don't know. Hash out the figure. Keep it simple. But you've got to keep negotiations, as I said, between the employee and the governments when you're dealing with international working situations. Because when you're dealing with foreign labor, it's not fair, but it's reality. It's like mafia control, kind of. That employer has the power to just snap his fingers, and all of a sudden that foreign employee is an illegal immigrant. Now, it's not fair and it's not really in the law, but that's the power. So you've got to keep negotiations and even payment between people and the government, not each other. I think it'd work.